What is up, my friend? Jacob here with another video, and today we're talking about the Sunbear Bus Comp by Safari Pedals. I was lucky enough to get early access to this plugin to give it a bit of a test drive, and we're going to go through some of the really cool features included in this plugin. Let's jump into it. Right, so a couple cool applications that I've kind of tested this with at the moment. I have the bus compressor on a vocal track, just an individual mono vocal track. I also have it on the drum bus because I do like to compress the crap out of my drums. And I also have it on the mix bus just to do some light compression. I want to show you my applications on all of those three things and kind of the settings that I dialed in. Now, before I make you hear anything, I want to talk about some pretty cool features of this plugin. They've included a lot of cool little mini things. First of which, there's a oversampling, of course, which I think is necessary in any plugin just to avoid any aliasing that could happen in those super high frequencies. So this will help tame that. And then you also have the clipper, which is really cool. So if I click this little button up here, it's going to open up the manual, and we're going to take a look at this right now. So their description of the clipper up top is smoothly limits peaks while adding a touch of saturation and extra punch. And again, the oversampling, avoid aliasing and maintain pristine audio quality. And of course, we have the mix knob, which is always very handy to have when you're doing parallel compression and stuff like that. They've also got some pretty cool little nuggets here, like the wild button, which I'll get into in a second, the saturation, which you could turn on or off, and you have modes of saturation. So you have more tube saturation and more tape saturation. And then you have this gravity or glue, which is two different styles of compression. And then you'll find, of course, like most compressors out there, you'll find an input, an output, the attack time, the ratio, which is how much you're compressing, and of course, you're going to find the release as well, and the threshold. Another cool feature, which some compressors include and some don't, is the sidechain filter, which essentially allows you to remove low end from the compression. So instead of triggering on your kick drum, it might only trigger on the rest of the drums, and you're going to leave that 50 hertz alone. And when it's a stereo track, you're going to see a mid-side feature as well. This is a mono track that I have open right here, but if you check on my drum bus over here, I really got to posture up, man. I got bad posture. Over here, you're going to see the mid-side MS Matrix button, which essentially allows you to affect more on the middle of your spectrum or more on the left and right channels. So when you are mixing a stereo song, technically you only have a left channel and a right channel, but there is a space in between the left and right where things become mono and in the middle. And the mid-side processing will essentially let you process whatever and wherever in that spectrum from left to right. So I'm going to go read word for word what these little cool nuggets are. You have the wild button, which is essentially the Safari style compression boost that delivers their own character that they've integrated throughout all of their plugins. And we'll demo that in a second as well. There's also the gravity glue selector, which is the two styles of compression that I mentioned earlier. One is more airy and open sounding, and one is a little chunkier, more cohesive, as they would say. And then, of course, you have the auto gain, which is very handy. And lastly, the saturation selector between tape and tube. Tape will bring out some grit and vintage vibe, and tube will be more smooth and warm. And you'll find that setting right here on the bottom here, which you could toggle on or off. So finally, let's hear what this thing is doing. I have this open currently on a vocal just down here. And this song is a track called On the Floor by the Free label. The record is out. It's called Songs for Sienna. Make sure to check it out. I have this on Josh's vocal here. Tell me what you said, what you done, what you doing to me. Let's solo it. Maybe it's the dress, she just knows it does something to me. Now, all right. Like all plugins, especially new ones that I haven't used yet, I really get super lazy. I'm like the laziest person you'll ever meet when it comes to plugin processing stuff. I flip through presets usually, and I just find something that kind of works, and maybe I dial it back or change it up. But for the most part, I don't start from scratch because Safari, for example, has already taken the time to create some presets for us. So if you look at the list here, there's a ton of plugin presets that you could just flip through, and you're going to find something that suits what you're looking for. That's 100% certain. In my case, I wanted to just dial in something for this vocal that made it feel a little bit richer, and I found that using none of the compression parameters, but actually using the wild knob and the saturation on the tape setting. Tell me what you said, what you done, what you doing to me. Let's bypass it.
Maybe it's the dress, she just knows it does something to me.
So you see how it just opens the vocal right up.
Your favorite part of the night. Let's ditch the party and find somewhere quiet to stay the night.
It's a little crunchy. Let's see if we go more towards the tube. And you can see there in the middle, it's actually showing you the percentage of tube to tape, the ratio of tube to tape saturation. So let's go full tube. Let's hear that again.
Tell me what you said, what you done, what you doing to me.
Definitely more subtle on the tube.
Maybe it's the dress, she just knows it does something to me.
Except when he pushes those notes, it gets a little crunchy. I kind of like the blend of the two.
Part of the night. Let's ditch the party and find somewhere quiet to stay the night. You ask me if I like.
You hear it just kind of opens it up. Gives it a little bit more personality, more life.
What's on my mind?
Now, let's go and give this a little test run on the drum bus. So let's hear the drums in solo. You can see I already have it on, actually. So I dialed in like a cool parallel situation here. Really, I'm only doing like, I think 15%. Yeah, I'm only doing 15% on this. So essentially, I'm doing a parallel compression on the drums, but directly on the bus instead of creating a separate drum bus. And this was actually a preset that I found in here called Parallel Push. Somewhere in here. And I kind of dialed it in a little bit. It's compressing about, let's see, let's loop a section here. Let's see the chorus maybe. So it's compressing like hell. It's compressing like hell. But again, I've got it dialed back to about 15%. And let's see what happens when I bring the sidechain up. Yeah. So you could visibly see it, and I could hear that it's compressing a lot less. With the kick in there, it's kind of pumping the drums in a way that I kind of like. Let's turn off the saturation. Oh, classic fade out, disco music. You know how it is. You can see it kind of, again, it just kind of opens it up a little bit, introduces some top-end harmonics. I've already got these drums pretty processed to begin with, so it's not making like a huge night or day difference, but it's giving it like a nice flavor. Like I said, it's opening it up a little bit, introducing some harmonics. Let's hear what this sounds like not blended in. This is like full wet. I mean, sounds kind of dope like this too, but it's a bit too aggressive for disco music. So, dial it back. Let's completely bypass it. Damn. Yeah. It's snappier, it's punchier, it's got more energy. Let's hear it in the track. You can kind of hear that I'm losing a bit of the low end, so I'm going to bring this sidechain back. Very nice. Altogether, it's introducing a lot of kind of energy to that drum bus and giving it, again, a little more personality, making it a little more fun. Now, let's go hear what the Sunbear sounds like on the actual mix bus. So let's scroll over here. Let me take it off the drum bus, bring it back to how it was before I started messing around with the plugin. Doing quite a bit here. I'm shaving off like a good 2 dB, but like pretty snappy and aggressively. Now, I do have the ratio down at about 1.5. The saturation is off at the moment. And I do have the wild, which remember, it's their own kind of flavor of compression that I turned on. Gravity, so a bit more natural, not so crazy. And I got the sidechain up about 40 hertz, so it's not quite affecting the sub. I got the release super fast. I got the attack more on the slow side, and again, a lower ratio. And I'm not blending this. This is full 100%. I took the clipper off. And again, it's something that I quickly kind of dialed in when I was testing this out. Bypass it. I lose a lot of volume. Let's see if we can level match these a bit better. Definitely, it's snappy as hell, this compressor. It's so snappy. And I'm loving it. Chunky. It's a bit more chunky with the glue. I feel like gravity is more, maybe aggressive is not the right word, but it's a little more, like I said earlier, snappy. The glue feels like it comes and gets the low-mid kind of area. That chunky boy. Let's turn the saturation on and see what it does. Freaking awesome, man. It's just bringing in the perfect amount of snap and kind of transient shaping, really bringing out the drums. Altogether, very versatile tool. A lot of great little nuggets to play with, like the wild, like the gravity and glue knobs. You could compress in mid-side. You can change your saturation profiles. You could drive the hell out of it. Again, you have a bank of there must be at least 30 plugin presets in here made by people just like you and I. And that's it. The plugin, super dope. Again, Safari Pedals coming out with some heat. I definitely recommend picking it up. If you think it might be interested, there's a link down in the description. Full transparency, it is an affiliate link, so if you buy using that link at no extra expense to you, I get a little cut, helps support the channel, and that goes for any Safari plugin. So just click the link down in the description if you're interested in picking this up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.